Hey, Ronnie A from Fit Coach here, and wanted to do a very quick video, as I'm getting a lot of questions lately, on what the benefits are for using an online weight loss coach, like the service we offer here at Fit Coach 99. So quickly, the first thing I want to do is go through reasons why your diet failed you, right? So a lot of us have tried in the past and have just really struggled with weight loss. And the reason why I phrase it as your diet failing you is because too often it really is the lack of proper structure that leads us to just kind of being out there and winging it and blaming our willpower when we ultimately fail. And it's not. It's very difficult for anyone to go somewhere, go out to eat with coworkers or classmates, and being hungry and not having a plan and going out to eat and trying to wing it and not caving in. It's just too much pressure. It's too difficult to do. What you need is a program with structure that safeguards you from those particular scenarios. So quickly, let's go through some of the reasons why your diet may have failed you. Number one, and this one's more important than you think it is, it didn't have specific and measurable goals. I think a lot of us come into the new year, we have a resolution, and we just say, I want to lose weight. Well, that's not a target. That does nothing to say what we're going to do, how much you're going to lose. It's too vague. You need very specific, measurable goals, or it's nearly impossible to hit. It's that simple. Number two, it didn't consider pre-planning. So in the scenario I mentioned earlier, you don't have a plan in place, and you get into these situations where you're hungry and you're faced with options, you're really going to have a tough time winning that battle every time. Next, it didn't calculate your daily calorie needs. If you have a program where you're trying to lose weight and you don't have a clue how many calories you're eating, I don't even know how you plan to be successful at all. Number four, it didn't consider or maximize your exercise. And it should be very tailored to your specific needs. If you're on a program that says you need to jog 3 miles a day and you hate jogging, you're not going to do it. It's that simple. Or you're going to do it for a very short period of time and quit. And again, that's not your fault. That's the program's fault. Next, it didn't have strong rule set. And I think I kind of touched on this with all of them, where you really need written guidelines and rule sets to say, this are the things you do, and these are the things you don't do, and these are the days you do the things you do, and that sort of thing, so that you're not just saying, it's Tuesday and I don't know what I'm going to do today, so I'm going to wing it, and then I'm going to make poor choices. Next, it likely didn't have a phased approach to jumpstart your weight loss. And if it did, or if you think you did, it didn't do it properly. There are very specific ways, mostly to do with macronutrient ratios, that can let you very quickly jumpstart your program. And the benefit of that is when you weigh in that first week or you weigh in that second week and you're seeing results, the motivation that brings is incredible. Where in another scenario where if you think you've been dieting all week, even though you've struggled a little bit, and then you weigh in and you didn't lose any weight, oh my God, how quickly are you going to throw that program out and just go back to the way you were? So you really want to jumpstart things and get started and then get on that scale and see some change. And boy, that really does just really jumpstart everything. Lastly, it didn't mandate complete program tracking for course correction purposes. And I don't know how you feel about that. Maybe the sound of having to track what you do is a little bit daunting to you or perceived as time consuming. It's not. Certainly over the long haul, it isn't when you build your database and things. In other words, literally, it takes me probably 1 minute per day to log my calories and my exercise. And at the end of the week, if I weigh in and I'm not where I thought I would be, I just go back and look and say, oh, here it is. Here's my problem. Wednesday and Thursday I was over my calories and didn't do enough exercise. It's really that scientific. It's fantastic. And so as much as people want to say, oh, our program doesn't track calories because they make that sound like such a terrible thing, with cell phone applications these days, my God, it's so easy and it's so important, because when you have a calorie target to hit, when somebody says, hey, let's go get a 600 calorie special coffee, you're going to look at your app and say, God, no, I don't want that. I'll have regular coffee that's 5 calories. And that's not even willpower. That's just good rational sense that your brain will automatically make for you, because you know what your target is and you're looking at it. So again, if you're not doing all that, you're just going to have a lot of trouble. So what will then a coach actually do for you? Reasons you need a coach or an online coach or the Fit Coach program that we offer. Number one is we're going to set very specific and measurable goals, both long-term and short-term, and they're going to be tailored to your needs. And when you have that written out and you know what they are, boy, that makes everything else fall into place. It makes it so easy because, again, it comes back to that mindset of this is what I know I have to do today. And so I'm going to do it. I'm not winging it, and then I'm not bringing my willpower into it. Secondly, we will provide an easy tool to pre-plan your meals each week. This goes back to the lack of pre-planning. So in the very first example, when I mentioned it's Tuesday, it's mealtime, and you're out with friends, that's not going to happen because you're going to have a pre-planned meal, and you're going to have rule sets, and you're just going to eat what you planned you're going to eat, and it's that simple. It removes the willpower out of it completely. Number 3, based on your specific starting point, so wherever you are right now, we're going to calculate your calorie needs, and they're going to adjust as you lose weight, but you're going to know very specifically to the calorie how many you should eat, and we're going to factor in exercise in that too. Because you don't want to start, in your old programs, you probably exercised one day and then said, well, I had a great workout today. Let me go out and enjoy my lunch with my friends like I thought I would do. Well, you just erased your exercise that morning, and you probably added more calories to your day. So that's one of the strategies that we'll employ here. We will provide an exercise plan based on feedback from you. So based on the survey that we will provide, there are several different options. And nobody needs to be going through grueling hour-long crazy workouts unless you're planning or training for something very specific. To promote fat loss, you just need to, do some really good exercises, keep your body lean, keep your body strong, pump your heart rate, burn some calories, and that's it. If think of it this way, if you're doing grueling hour-long workouts, you need fuel. You're going to eat more. And really, you don't want to eat just to sustain the workouts unless, again, you're training for something very specific. Next, we will share our 7 golden rules for automatic weight loss. Now, these are the 7 rules that I have, that I owe all my success to. It took me from struggling with weight loss and kind of being lost to these are the very specific things that I do. These are the rules that I follow that have made it easy to keep weight off. And basically, I call it the automatic weight loss because you employ these 7 rules, and all of a sudden, there's no question anymore. There's no trying. It just happens. And this is how I live my life, and I'm happier than I've ever been. Next, we will provide a 3-phase meal plan with flexibility based on your tolerance. So again, based on the survey that we provide to you, we're going to create this 3-phase meal plan to jumpstart your weight loss. And then we're going to ramp it up until the 3rd phase, which is then how you're going to live. And that has a lot of flexibility based on your tolerance. And lastly, we will mandate complete calorie and exercise tracking. It's not nearly as difficult, time-consuming, or annoying as you think it is. It's actually very simple, but it allows us for the if you're doing the full program in those first couple of weeks to say, well, we didn't hit our targets. We know exactly what you ate. We know exactly what exercise you did, and we'll course correct, right? And so if week 1 is a bust, and I really don't think it is unless you don't follow the rules, we know how to change that for the following week, and then you'll know how to, based on our interactions, you'll then be able to follow those same ideas that I give you on your own for the rest of your life. So if for some reason next holiday season you pack on 10 pounds, you come back to this, you've got the knowledge from me or from our coaches here, and you're going to basically ramp this back up and take that 10 pounds off like a flip of a switch. So I really don't know how you would even plan to go about doing this on your own unless you've had, prior instruction or prior study or have just been so, very disciplined person where you kind of wung it and were one of the few that succeeded. We offer a very, very strong program, whether you want the online coaching for a couple of weeks or just the initial program and take it from there. But we highly recommend it. Any questions at all, feel free to hit us up at fitcoach99@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. Thanks.